How's it, everybody? Kāʻili here, back again at Ukulele Puapua in the Sheraton Waikiki in Waikiki, Hawaii, for our weekly Sunday live video where we feature and sample some of our ukuleles and answer your questions in the live chat. So today we're going to be talking about the Mailelei SK2 Soprano, and we're going to be talking about the Kanileʻa OHA Concert. All right? So I'll be answering any questions after each ukulele that I introduce and then towards the end. So if you guys have any questions while I'm talking, feel free to type them in the chat as they come up, and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can, okay? So, all right, let's get started. Let's see here. So for the first one, if you look in the link in the description, we have the links to these models on our website. So the first one is going to be the Mailelei SK2 Soprano. So if you remember last time we talked about Mailelei, we talked about some of their other models, but this one in particular is actually a solid top soprano. So if you look here, we might have introduced this one before, but we do have this in stock. This one actually has a solid top, so you can see here the difference. Right, the bottom. If you go really close, the bottom has a few layers here, but the top piece you can see is one solid piece. All right, so that's the main difference. This one actually has a solid top, so it's going to sound better as it gets older, as the wood starts to open up. It has a solid koa top, laminated koa sides and back, and has a light gloss finish, as you can see from the shine, the reflection there. And then the neck is actually satin, more of a satin finish. So when you're playing, your hand will actually be able to glide easier up and down the neck. So that's really good. There's barely any, you can barely feel the frets on this. Like it's just a little bit, but it's not like sharp or anything. If you look at the saddle and the fretboard, you'll see that it is made of ebony. And the fretboard is one of the unique things about this ukulele. The fretboard has no fret markers on the front. So it's completely black. But when you look on the sides, you have white fret markers on 5, 7, and 10. So that's convenient for the player, but it actually looks really clean on the front. It has the, for the nut and saddle, so the nut here and the saddle here, it's the standard plastic that they use in the shop. And if you look at the head plate, that's a, if you look close here, this is actually a koa head plate. So it doesn't really match the body. The body is actually curly on top. And then you have a koa head plate here with the Mailelei logo. Then if you look at the next one, we have the mahogany neck, which is standard practice for most ukulele makers. Okay, and you got the golden tuners as well, golden geared tuners. All right, so the price on this is $479. So the solid top is going to be a little bit more expensive than the SK1, which is all laminated. That's also an option if you want to keep the price down. But the solid top is going to sound better over time. And to me, this one actually sounds better, more full than the laminated ones. But that's just me. We got fluorocarbon strings on here. Online it says it's a satin finish, but it's closer to gloss finish, so it's kind of like somewhere in the middle. And right now we're going to go into the sound sample. So if you haven't, this is your first time here, I sound sample in 3 different areas, 2 different ways. So first is the strumming, and then the second would be the picking. So if you strum over the neck, it's going to sound different than over the hole. sound different from over by the saddle. And if you pick here in these three places, it'll sound different too. Okay, so here's your sound sample. I'll play a few chords in each area. Same exact chords, the same way. And then I'll switch it up a little bit. Here. And then over the whole. And by the bridge. And picking. Over the whole. And by the bridge. All right. So that's it for your sound sample for the first one. As we wait for some people to comment or ask any questions, I can play something for you guys. Let me see here. Ken, you got any ideas? Any song ideas? If anybody has a request, please feel free to put it on the comments. Kaulu vehi o ke kai?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kaulu vehi o ke kai. Let's see here. Just make sure I'm looking for the lyrics so I don't mess it up. Okay, here we go. What's the key that you normally play it in? Is it C?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I should bring that down a bit. Try it in A. kohu kohu e kalimu kohu ke kauilu na ona mokula o ia mokula la e ho o ni ana I ho ia nei o kohu kohu e kalimu kohu ke kauilu na ona mokula o ia mokula la e ho o ni ana I ho ia nei Haina mai ka puana kalipo me kalimu kohu o dili o e me ka pahe anoni me kalipa Haina mai ka puana kalipo me kalimu kohu o dili o e me ka pahe anoni me kalipa Anoni me kalipalu, anoni me kalipalu. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Well, not tomorrow, but yeah.
Somebody commented.
No, you commented. Okay, so that's the last one for this one. Again, if you guys have any questions about this one, feel free to ask. If you want to get a closer up look, click on the link below under SK2, Mailelei SK2. All right, so the next one we have is the Kanileʻa. This Kanileʻa is the OHA model. So you can look at the second link underneath if you want to get a closer up look. This is an OHA model. So the OHA is a series that Kanileʻa has. It kind of keeps the price down by using materials that are not as expensive as their other offerings. So the sides and back on this one are actually mahogany, as well as the neck, and the top is koa. All right, so the main resonance is going to come from the top, but you get some of the warmth from and the deeper sound from the mahogany on the sides and back. So it's actually a really good, really nice mix. So you're definitely not really losing anything tonal with this model. There's also the bridge and the fretboard are made of, I believe it's walnut. Let me pull this up here. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. That's rosewood for the bridge and the fretboard. You got mother of pearl markers in the front, mother of pearl markers on top, and you have a mother of pearl inlay as well for the logo. And the faceplate is also koa. All right. So you have matching koa on the faceplate and on the body. Usually for the OHA, the wood isn't as figured as it would be on some of the other ukuleles that Kanileʻa offers. And that's just because it keeps the price down. Curly koa is very much sought after. So having figured wood would kind of raise the price. But this is a satin finish along the neck as well. And I really like this one because it's really smooth, like more than other satin necks. Like this finish right here is just, you just glide. And you don't even feel the wood. Like there's no grain that you feel on this body either. All right, if you look at the nut and saddle, the nut and saddle are made of are the new bone nut and saddles. So they transfer vibration, transfer sound really well. And the tuners are Kanileʻa's open back branded Kanileʻa tuners, gear tuners. If you look at the bracing system, you can see inside here. Let's see. Right there, you can see those little triangles in the bracing. That's their true redesign bracing system, or also called truer bracing system. That's the newest, as of a couple of years ago, that's their newest development in bracing. And you also have the tweezer style You see this on a lot of folk guitars. You have the tweezer style bridge pin, bridge there. No binding or anything on this one. But yeah, this one ships with a hard foam case, as does the Mailelei, I believe. Right, Ken? Yeah. So the SK2 also ships with a hard foam case. We got a question here. Oh, is that Auntie Jean? Auntie Jean, yeah. Hi, Auntie Jean. So yeah, she recommends she asked, where do we recommend strumming on the ukulele? Normally, I recommend for beginners, you want to strum over the neck, right above where the neck meets the body. That's called the neck joint. So somewhere around fret 12, which is the two dots on this case, to maybe about fret 14 on this ukulele. So right around here, at the middle of the string, you get the best sound for strumming. Generally, is the one where you have the best blend, and that's right here. I think I knocked it out of tune a little bit. So here. So yeah, that's why I would recommend strumming. You can also experiment with that, like strumming over the hole or by the bridge. It just depends on what tone you want, but just be careful. When you're a beginner, you don't have the dexterity to avoid scratching the wood if you strum anywhere over the body. A lot of the time when we grow up in Hawaii, we learn to strum right around here. But then you look at some older guys' ukuleles and you have scratches all along, all in the finish here, and it's just a shame. So even like the more experienced players can end up scratching the wood. I know I have. But right here is a good start. And it's also easier to tell if you're strumming wrong, because you want to strum with your pointer finger pointing down and using the natural motion of your flicking finger, as opposed to strumming sideways. You'll get caught here if you're strumming sideways because your finger doesn't bend that way. So strumming this way, angling your hand and your wrist so that your fingers are pointing down, that's the best way to get started strumming. And this is foundational. This will set you up for other strumming techniques in the future. So hopefully that answers your question. And thanks, Auntie Jean. That's something we get a lot. By the way, if you guys don't know Auntie Jean, she teaches some of our ukulele lessons here, the beginner lessons. So that was probably a question from experience. As for tone, you can tell the tone is pretty it's pretty different. It's not quite all the way bright when you're playing. It's not as bright as koa. It's not as warm as mahogany. So it's kind of a mix. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So you have the initial punch and attack of koa, initial brightness of koa, but a lot of the resonance sounds a lot warmer. So if you look at the price on this one, this is $945, which is a lot cheaper than a lot of the other Kanileʻa. It's cheaper than some of the other kamakas as well, all the kamakas. So this is a really good value. Comes with Aquila strings, a high G, as you can tell. And yeah, so I'll do the sound sample real quick. Same thing as before. Neck, hole, and bridge, and then pick in those same three areas. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. All right, here we go. And over the hole. Over the bridge, the brightest sound. And picking over those three spots. By the way, I recommend picking around here, either over the hole or by the bridge, because you want that brightness for each note to stand out. So. And by the bridge. All right, so that's your sound sample. Let me see here. Try to play another Hawaiian song. Or you know what? Let's do the same one. What do you think, Ken? Same song?
Yeah, same song is good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's Kaulu Vehio Kekai one more time on the OHA Concert. Again, this is in the description, so if you want to get a closer look, just click on the second link in the description. All right, guys? Here we go. Oh, yep, go. Okay. All right, guys. So I don't see any more questions. But yeah, every week on Sunday at 1 o'clock Hawaii Standard Time, we'll be doing this. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share all of the things that you do on social media. Yeah, you guys can ask any questions. Feel free to give us any requests, either for songs or for ukuleles that you want us to feature. And then if you want to contact us, here's a few things. So I'll type it in for you. info@puapua.net. And if you want to call our store, that's 808-371. And let me get the last 4 digits.
We'll do 30 cash, the rest on card. Okay.
9514. All right, so 808-371-9514. You can call or text us, or you can email us at info@puapua.net. So, yeah, if you guys just want to ask questions about ukulele or any of the ukuleles that we featured, or any of the ones that we've talked about in the past, feel free. Again, if you're for our English-speaking fans here, ukulelepuapua.com is the site to go for all the ukulele you want to buy, Hawaiʻi-made ukuleles. And for Japanese customers, you can go to gcea.com. And we'll have everything available on there in Japanese. All right. Also, if you speak Japanese, sumimasen, I don't speak much Japanese, so but our owner Ken and another guy in the shop, Yu-san, can help you if you need to speak in Japanese or prefer Japanese. Okay. So thank you guys for coming. Feel free to join us next week. And add us on all the social medias and everything so you don't miss out on anything we're doing. All right. So thank you. Mahalo. And take care.